Happy Friday the 13th. I am just getting ready for the day. I have a fun little photo shoot that I'm doing, just me and the older girls. I know I've talked about it on here before, how I am super type B, and here is just another example of that. So yesterday I went in to get a belly button lift and to get a hernia, my belly button hernia removed or fixed, whatever you want to call it. And I knew I had this photo shoot today, but in my head I was like, oh, it's not really that big of a deal. Like, it wasn't really like a big surgery. I was awake for it all. They just numbed my belly button to do it. So in my head I was like, you know, it's not going to be that big of a deal. You guys, I'm hurting. It hurts. Once after the numbing wore off, I was in pain, and I don't think it's much of the belly button lift that's hurting me. I think it's the hernia repair that's hurting me, because I like feel it inside my belly button. So anytime I move too quickly or, you know, do anything like that, I can feel a little bit of pain. So yeah, I didn't think about it. I had this photo shoot planned before I even made the appointment for the belly button lift and the hernia repair, and I saw the photo shoot on my calendar for today, but I was like, oh, no big deal, you know, like, I'll be fine, because I can literally drive myself away from that appointment. So in my head I was like, no big deal. But that's okay, we're gonna power through it. It's only gonna be like 20 minutes. Just talking about it reminds me that I have to take my meds for that. Also, something else that I've shared on here is how Emmy has been struggling with her night terrors, and I did get a lot of feedback from you guys, and I also did some Googling, and there's really nothing you can do about it. The biggest things I read was how night terrors happen like right before you go into REM sleep, which is usually about 90 minutes after you fall asleep, which is so crazy because it really is so true. Like, we'll put them all to bed, and then Kevin and I will sit down and watch a show or two in the living room, and then when we're done, which is usually about 90 minutes, we go to our room, and as soon as I lay down, she just starts screaming and starts having an episode. So it did say that you can wake them up about 15 minutes before the 90 minutes that they've been asleep and have them awake for like 5 minutes and then put them back to bed. So that is something I am going to try. Another thing that I did read is that it does run in the family. So if there's someone in the family that had struggled with night terrors, it's very common for it to be passed down to their kids, which Eric did also struggle with night terrors all the way up until he was an adult, because there were times where I would wake up and that man would be standing at the foot of the bed like a zombie yelling at someone, and I was like, what is happening? It did start when he was little, and then it went away for some time, and then I think it just came back. Most common from like ages 5 to 11 is what I read, and it can go and come back. There's really not much I can do about it. Just keep her in a safe environment. You can't do anything while she's asleep that can cause harm to herself or to others. I'm sure this is just another way for her of processing her stress and her grief. But I guess the good thing is that she really does not remember. So anytime I ask her about them in the morning or when she wakes up, she literally looks at me like, what are you talking about? I did not do that. I think it's just her brain's way of processing something while she's asleep, which means that she's obviously struggling with some stuff mentally. And I mean, who wouldn't be after going through what she's gone through? So I will also be looking into getting her back into therapy. Another big thing that I read about night terrors is try not to wake them up in the middle of it. Just let them go through it and let them fall back asleep, which is essentially what I have been doing. So we're just gonna stick to that. I do notice that it gets worse when she's like overly tired, or we've had a really long day, or she's been outside in the pool for a while. So anytime we have any of those days, I'm just kind of expecting it. But another thing that I did read was just make sure they are getting the right amount of hours that they need for bed, and try to create a calm and soothing bedtime routine so that stress doesn't carry over into their sleep. That's all I've got for now. So